Alright, you guys, so welcome back. It's finally done, finally finished the garden. And what I mean by that is I finished the garden as in that I have all the starters planted and some extras that I'll explain here in a minute. But this is my organic garden. Starters are planted. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get into it right here. This first one is carrot. And from here all the way down this line, a friend and I decided to do a whole row of carrots. It grows literally like a root as a vegetable. And typically when you plant one seed to about 3 seeds, you get a plethora of carrots. And I want to use them for juicing in the future once they mature and grow. And I'll have plenty of that for carrot juice in the future. But we decided to go with a whole row versus everything else where we're just doing little bunches and I'm giving them space, because carrots, they do better, they do well together in groups. So this is what I'm planting and growing this year. So far we got carrots for the row. So some of you may be wondering why I have gallon jugs in the ground. So this is to help the starters that are at the base level, like they just sprouted up, they're growing, they're fresh. This is to help them with the shock of transporting them into the garden bed. So my friend told me that it's going to help with the shock when we transfer them, because we just have them in the pods here like this, for example, for the carrot. And what we did was we tore off the bottom so that way we could let the root system set into the ground and grow into the bed. Now, as for a little bit of time, period of time, I'm going to have to wait for a while, let these things grow, and until they start to touch maybe like the top or the outside, say like the near the wall of the gallon jug, then we'll be able to take them off. So that's that for as far as completing the garden and getting the planters going. And the last thing I wanted to state here too, as far as the fence goes, it is not complete yet, so I will address that and deal with that as I go. I just need the materials. I need to be able to have the money to buy the materials. So moving forward, right now the garden has been planted and everything, but I still need to get a fence going and posts going for the garden. And obviously the fence line and posts are going to go in the corners here. And it's basically just going to line where I've been watering for the reservoir method that we developed with this garden. Again, we used cardboard as a base, flipped over the sod, and that just helps to establish the root system to stay moist and for them to just gather the water as they grow, and it just makes for a really good way to garden. So we're trying out this method. I'll see if it works this year or not and see what takes and what doesn't take. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get back into what we have here for the garden as far as this goes. So right here, and this one, you guys might be able to see it. You see those greens there? This is my beets, bunches of beets. Planted a couple seeds for this starter, and that's what I'm growing here. This one's doing really well so far. This is one of my kales that I'm growing right now. You guys can see that. So as far as these ones go right here, what these are right now starting out are cucumber. They're not organic. We just had them laying around, so I decided to go ahead and plant them. And when these grow, the vegetable is going to lay kind of like on the side here and grow. It's going to lay on the side here and grow as you would see, like how long a cucumber is naturally. So anyway, it's going to grow here, and it's just going to grow alongside touching the ground. That's just how they grow. Some of the leaves are wilted, but you know, that's not to fret over. It's just going to happen when growing these vegetables. Regardless though, I'm confident that they'll mature naturally and they'll be just fine, but we'll see. Alright, so the pods that you don't see with the jugs on, I did take them off. This was supposed to be another set of kale. It obviously died, so I decided to just take that off. I did give it a couple seeds though, so I'm kind of confident that it might come back up, but we'll see. I'm going to keep watering it. I think I'll wait a couple more days before I put some fresh seeds in there. Now this was supposed to be habaneros, but they ended up dying once I got them planted into the ground, unfortunately, and I did have a jug over this. Replanted with 3 seeds of cayenne though, so we'll see if this takes. I just replanted it. I'm confident that it'll come back up, but I decided to take the jug off of it because it has not sprouted yet. If it sprouts, I think I'm just going to go without having a jug on there, just because of the fact that I want it to get plenty of sunlight and make sure it flourishes and all that. I don't feel like I need to, since they're fresh seeds, they're not going to be traumatized from the movement, like I had stated earlier in the video, talking about removing the bottom of the pods and then planting them in the ground, aside from the ones that have already sprouted. All right, next, this is broccoli. This one's doing pretty good so far. It's actually come up quite a bit since the week's gone by, so I'm happy and satisfied with that. Now this one, if you can see it, it's just barely hanging on, but this is going to be white onion. And it's just a great vegetable for allergies, great for cooking and sauteing, spices and herbs. Overall great herb just for, helping out with a histamine response and stuff. And that's why I want to keep it around and see if I can actually grow some. I want to say right now at this point that it's doing okay. I'm expecting the green part to come up a little bit more. This isn't a green onion, like I just said, it's a white onion. So I'm going to be getting bulbs to dig out of the ground, which will be nice. So I'm going to try and grow this year. All right, and this one next to it is kale. So this is doing well. For the most part, it's a little wilty, but I'm confident that it'll come back strong. I'm trying to give it as much water as possible, but I'm also trying to protect it from transportation. So we'll see how this goes. All right, now, so far as this one goes, just above it, my line here, this is cayenne. And I've grown cayenne before in the past in pots. This is going to be a little bit different in the garden, but it's sprouting and growing very well. You see those green leaves starting out. It'll get quite a bit taller, and then we'll start to see those red chili peppers on the end. So I got cayenne chilies. They're going to be between a bright and deep, like even dark red once they fully mature, and it just makes a great powder. It's a great herb for circulation, stimulating the blood. Overall, great herb and spice to use in your cooking or just taking it medicinally. So I'm really happy that I'm growing that this year, and I think this is going to do very well this year. All right, and then just above the cayenne in this row, we have fennel. I've never grown it before. It eats like a vegetable when you grow it as a whole, but this is also great as a tea. It helps with digestive problems or digestive upset. And fennel can just be very medicinal in this way. It's going to grow like a bush, and we'll just see how everything goes. I believe it also will get pods on the ends of their the leaves and the stems and such. So I'm excited for this one. All right, so this one on the corner was supposed to be cumin. It died when we put it in the pod. We put in a couple more seeds. I've just been watering it. I took the jug off because I saw no green, no sprouting at all. So I'm just going to give it as much natural sunlight and water and moisture as possible, and we'll see if it comes up. It's going to grow like a big bush, so I wanted to designate a whole corner of the garden to it. That way it can just kind of flourish in its own way. All right, this is another herb, if you guys can see this. This is echinacea. Super excited to see this grow and just sprout up. This is going to grow just like a sunflower, but it's a purple flower with a purple cone. And in the cone lies the seeds, kind of like sunflower seeds, but it's different. The seeds, the flower, the stem, the leaves, I believe, and the root, specifically the root from what I know, is all medicinal for your immune system. It's a great herb to have on hand, especially if you're sick. Cuts colds and flus down by 50%. Like, I'm excited to try and grow this and see what happens and see if it, survives. But we'll see how it goes, guys. I'm super excited about finally growing some natural homegrown echinacea. And last but not least, here, I'm going to back up a little bit. So this, you guys remember, is designated to the corner, like I filmed earlier at the beginning of creating this garden. So this has no cardboard at all, but this herb here, okay, so anyways, guys, this is basil. Yep, this is basil. I want to give you guys a bit of a shot here. Okay, so I believe that this herb needs a lot of water. In general, all the plants are going to need a lot of water, herbs. Some herbs need it more than others, but this is a great antioxidant to make in a tea. This leaf, I just recently found out, takes out the chemical fluoride in your water. So you can only imagine what it takes out of the water when you brew it as a tea and when you drink it medicinally. Now again, basil is a great herb. It stimulates the immune system. It's a great antioxidant from what I know off the top of my head. And I wanted to designate it to the control corner here. It's kind of worn down now, but This place has no cardboard, so it's going to establish a great root system, and it's going to grow and thrive. And I can literally just pick off the fresh leaves and make it into a tea, or add it to my drinking water, for example. And earlier I got distracted by the cat, so sorry for that, you guys. Anyway, this last one is basil. I think it's going to do really well as an herb. It's a great tea. Highly recommend having it in your garden. We'll see how it does. One last thing, guys, if you guys saw the water here, this is the reserve. I just got done watering before I decided to film. I wanted to give you guys my complete and undivided attention as far as that goes, and just explain everything that I'm growing in the garden this year. Alright everyone, that's it for the video. If you're just finding me on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. I enjoyed sharing what I'm growing with you guys this year. And I just wanted to let you know where the garden's at. More videos to come soon. We'll see how the fence does and getting all that prepped and completed, and I'm going to continue to document while I can just the different stages of the plants and how they're growing and how the garden bed is doing in general. But this is my organic garden. Alright, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.